Welcome to the hunt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to HuntCast Podcast. This is Greg. I got Doug over here to my right, and it's been a hot minute.
Yes, it has.
It's been a hot minute. We've been busy.
Yeah.
There hasn't been much slowing down.
No, not at all.
Welcome to episode 11. We're glad you're tuning in, and we're going to jump right into basically try to catch up on everything we missed since the last episode, which was episode 10, and that was the week before Archery Fest.
Yes.
So we've had a lot going on since then. You will hear recorded interviews with some of actually almost all the vendors that were at Archery Fest over the next couple episodes, and then we're going to start having them call in, and you'll actually get live interviews right here on the podcast. So we'll jump right into it. First thing is this past weekend, or this weekend ended today, was the True Ball Pro-Am in London, Kentucky. And if you're a big 3D shooter, Levi Morgan came out on top in the Open Pro division. Aaron McClattery came in first in Women's Pro. Let's see here. Senior Pro was Kevin Coach. Tony Tazza, he was another PA boy. He came in third. 2024 Known Pro, James Lutz. Senior Known Pro, Jeff Borg. And Women's Known Pro, Caitlin Bordwell. Finally, Paige wasn't number one.
Yeah.
And Caitlin's out of New York. Her parents actually own a shop up there.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
So,
is that Levi's first victory?
I believe his first place podium finish this year.
Okay.
I believe. He might have had one more,
so
but I'm pretty sure. And so, yeah, Danny McCarthy came in second. Ryan Thomason came in third. And some of the other names, Laura Huff, Cara Kelly in the Women's Pro. Jeff Hopkins came in second. Tony Taz was in third. Remington Boyer, Curtis Broadnax in Known Pro. Dave Triplett and Kevin Beach came in second and third in Senior Known. And then it was Paige and Hallie Grine, who's also another PA girl, in the Women's Known, second and third. Madison Cox, who's also on Team Elite, came in fifth. So,
okay.
Little change up there in the standings this week.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Archery Fest.
Yeah, that's the big news, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think it was a huge success. You know,
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Year two, we got a lot of the kinks out from year one. Rain kind of sucked.
Yeah, Saturday
Saturday was kind of wet all day, but
it wasn't a pouring rain.
No,
it was just that annoying rain.
Yeah, just where you couldn't.
You got wet and then you didn't want to do anything else because you were soaked.
Yes,
but
so that definitely put a damper on things, and then it actually kind of picked up at the end.
Yep.
So after the shoot, after party was kind of washed out. So that was unfortunate.
Yeah, 'cause that guy was good.
Yeah, really good. Yeah.
He's a local guy that they found, and he was really good.
Yes.
All the competitors that messaged and said, oh, yeah, man, we're going to come out and shoot. We're going to shoot and win some money, and 2 people showed up.
Yeah.
For the competition course. But we had 1,400 through the gates for the actual shoot itself.
Yeah.
So beat last year a little over 100. So that was good news. I was hoping for more, but obviously rain on Saturday. No one's going to just come and walk around in the rain to look at stuff.
Yeah.
There were a lot of spectators, more than I thought we would get.
Yes, there were.
Yeah.
Which is good. That's actually a good sign.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it was kind of one of those things where we just, let's try it.
Yep.
Let's see how it works. And I think everyone liked it. Liked the opportunity. So
it was definitely different. And then were you at the table when I had to try to register the guests that thought that they can get bows at the mountain?
Yes. Yeah, I think there were 2 different
There was a
groups.
total of 19 people.
Yes, but there were 2 groups that did that.
Yes.
And I was up at the booth, the first one, or it might have been the second one. I was there for a group of maybe 7 or 9. It was a big group.
Yep.
So which is, I mean, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
That they
assumed.
Yeah, they just assumed that they could, rent equipment. But, you can't fault them. I applaud them for even trying. Right?
Yeah.
Someone who never picked up a bow before, never shot a bow, and they were willing to do it. So I kind of feel bad that it didn't work out for them.
Right. I did see a few of them walking through Vendor Village. At least the people that when I was at the registration table.
Yeah.
I did see them walking through Vendor Village later on. But yes, folks, if you're listening and you've never been to one of these events, whether it's our event, it's a TAC, it's a Western Hunt Fest, very rarely will you find rental equipment.
Yeah.
at those venues, especially for never shooting a bow, learning to shoot a bow on the side of a mountain.
Yeah.
Not highly recommended.
No. And it's everything is just too personal.
Yeah.
I mean, there's, draw length and arrow weight, and there's just so much that goes into it.
100%.
You couldn't outfit people just on the spot like that.
No.
And put them out there with another 1,000 people.
Right.
So that's the other kick in the whole thing.
Like if it was, 20-yard shots.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I mean, even on the beginner intermediate course, shots out to 45, 50. And if you've never shot a bow, I don't think you are going to have the right idea on how to do that.
No.
But regardless, so we doubled the size of Vendor Village. And it was funny because Jeremy from Toxinat called it Vendor City.
Yeah.
And that was, yes. It kind of stuck in my head.
Yeah.
So you got the chance to interview all the vendors.
Yes.
So how'd that go?
It went really well, because a lot of them I did not know.
Right.
And there's a few that I knew, a bunch that, from last year. So it actually gave me an opportunity to kind of get to know these guys personally and,
nice.
And, get a little feedback from what they thought about the shoot, and get to, know a little bit about themselves and what they do and their, different businesses. And it was, guys from all walks, right? There was outfitters, there were steel working guys, there were a guy who does hats and printing, and then there were, arrow guys and bow guys, and there were, guys with wheelchairs, the power wheelchairs, and truck accessories, and it's just, vendors that were doing, clothing, and it's just all different walks, and it was really cool to meet all the guys and just get to know them a little bit. So that was, so you mentioned Brad, who does hillside engraving. Yep.
And he sold a bunch of hats and a bunch of other things.
Yeah.
And then we had the steel artisan, who you mentioned, John, and he not only had a badass fire pit to give away, he made us our steel target.
Yeah.
And he made us, for the shop to hang up in the range, a compass with arrows on it and the latitude and longitude of the shop.
Yeah. Yeah, really.
So that was pretty neat. So we had Nora 4x4, which was the truck guys.
Yep.
And then with them was Action Track Chair. So they had the wheelchairs there.
Yep.
We had Landmaster UTV, Mamba Archery, which is the arrows. We had Sam and Bob from Archery in Motion.
Yep.
We had Jeremy and Rebecca from Toxinat, Cheyenne and Randy, Bo and River. Was the baby's name? River? I want to say it was River.
It could be.
From
she was
High
sleeping
Desert
the whole time.
Yes. I've never seen a kid sleep that much.
Good for them. Yeah.
But so they were there with High Desert Ranch. They're the ones that give away the elk hunt. We had Dark Run Jerky, Pennsylvania Game Commission, Elk County Outfitters, Bow Minded, Numa, KU, Big Shot Delta McKenzie.
Yep.
High Mountain Archery. Who did I miss?
I don't know.
You're trying to go in the
I was
Rugged Road. Sorry.
Rugged Road. Rugged Road. That's right. Mary was on the end.
Mary sold all of her coolers.
Oh, yeah. They all sold?
Every single one.
Oh, good. Good for her. Okay.
And that was, it kind of made me nervous when, they said, how many should we send? And I'm like, I said, send a dozen. That should be safe. And she sold all 12.
Good.
Good. The PSE, Chris from PSE was there.
Yep.
Timber Trail e-bikes.
Yep.
I did not catch the guy's name from Bear.
I did not either.
I don't know if he was there. He didn't show up till Saturday.
Yeah, he wasn't there for the setup on Friday. I know that.
And he wasn't
Thursday. He wasn't there on Thursday.
Right, he wasn't there Thursday. And I don't know that he was there Sunday.
I don't know, to be honest with you.
And then Gus from Easton was there for a couple hours. I don't know exactly what happened. walked out of the booth. I turned around, he was gone. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I wasn't even going to even attempt to try to go through all the vendors because I know I'd miss a couple, then I'd feel bad. So I'm glad that you attempted it.
And, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I missed anybody. Anyway.
PA Game Commission?
Yeah, so them. Because I was trying to follow the tents, the way it was set up.
Right. Oh, Elk County Outfitters?
I said them.
Did you?
Yep.
Okay.
Old Brian and Ned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Okay.
We didn't have any issues with the jerky with Bear.
Well, because I warned him.
Yes. Well, the first night, we warned them.
He didn't listen.
He didn't listen. So we put it on the trailer.
Yeah.
But we definitely saw some bear.
The bear sightings every day.
Yeah.
So if he had left that jerky out, it would have been a big
deal. Yeah.
So,
and only one target, right? And it wasn't like demolished.
Right.
He beat it up a little bit, but
I was able to put it back together.
Yeah.
That was on the expert course. That was what was that?
The day he got that, when Glenn went to spray those targets.
Yeah.
I said, listen, don't get off the quad. That one's like way in the woods. Like, don't get off of the quad to go spray that one.
Yeah.
And sure as crap, he hit that one.
Yep.
So for those of you that want to figure out something to stop bear from wrecking your targets, Pine Sol and mothballs.
Yep.
A 3-to-1 mixture on the Pine Sol. It's going to stink. I wanted to puke every time I went in the trailer. But literally the bear did not touch the targets.
No.
And obviously, after last year, he knocked over the grizzly bear, destroyed an antelope.
Yep.
So we needed to do whatever we could to get him to not bother targets this year.
Yes. And it worked.
It worked. I mean,
great. At home, you only have one target or something. You can just simply put a tarp over it.
Right.
That's all I did. Like last year when I had the elk after the shoot, if I left it out, I just put a tarp on it this way. Nobody, nothing could see that it was an animal.
Right.
But when you've got 120 targets, you can't tarp them all. So, yeah. But no, we did pretty well as far as the bears. So
yeah, and other than that, I mean, not that it was an issue. So this year we did have archery in motion. Yeah. So Sam and Bob brought in their moving platforms, and we had one on the novelty course with the iron buck, and nobody wanted to shoot at it.
No.
And then we had one
too intimidating.
On the advanced course, and it was funny. I was actually when Sam got there to set up. He said, so where's this one going? I said, right over here on the novelties. I said, the buck is actually laying out there right where, we're going to put it.
Yeah.
And he calls me on the phone and he says, I don't see a buck target over here. I said, yeah, it's like folded up. He's like, this metal one?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you're crazier than I am. And
that is pretty intimidating. Because I mean, listen, the buck by itself standing still is pretty intimidating.
Right. Yeah.
Now get it in motion, that's pretty intimidating. So,
but the one out on the advanced course, which did have a buck on it, and it made it like he was walking out of the woods out into the open, a little bit quartering too.
Yep.
And before I say what I'm going to say, I'm going to reiterate the fact that these things are awesome because I don't want anybody to take what I'm about to say the wrong way. They do everything they're supposed to. They can run off a generator. They can run off a solar. And you have a remote that's good up to 100 yards.
Yeah.
And it's pretty self-explanatory. However, Sam is from Colorado. They don't have the same terrain that we do here. The one on the advanced course, I think, was the biggest one where it kept sliding.
Yes.
So just because he's not used to dealing with mud and grass. And
it was a real crap spot.
Yeah.
It was real rocky. So the wheels were trying to bounce over big rocks in the woods, and it was wet on Saturday. It rained all day. So it was sliding. So it was a little bit of a slope. So it was sliding down the hill, and it was tough.
Yep.
It was a good.
Definitely. Well, what I told him was, I said, what you have is awesome. And I said, this was an R&D trip for you.
Yeah.
So that if you're sending one out here to somebody, you may have to beef it up depending on where they're going to put it.
Yeah. PA proof.
Yep, exactly. But the thing was, it had, how many holes were in the base of that thing? Probably 40 of them, I'd say.
What do you mean?
Holes to mount the legs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So you can mount it however you want it to.
Yeah. You can mount quartering, way
quartering away, hard quartering too.
Yeah. So, and any size, whether it was a little, little bobcat or a turkey, or you want to put a huge
Sasquatch on it.
Yeah, full size target on there. It was, no issue.
That's what we should have done. We should have put Bigfoot on that. I had him walking towards that cliff. Damn it.
Yeah. Next year. That's it.
But so obviously set up a little bit easier this year. We kind of had an idea.
Yeah.
We didn't too much trouble. I mean,
no.
We flipped the entire courses around.
Yeah.
And I don't think there was really, we had a couple people, there was one target that I had to go move. And I actually posted the video on our Facebook page and Instagram page of me riding a coyote, basically. It needed to be moved. When we set it, we couldn't see the stake from the other target.
Yeah.
And it was, wasn't done on purpose. So I quick went and ran and got it. But the quad that I took didn't have a hammer in it. And Sam, of course, happens to be there. And he's like, "You need some help?" And I'm like, "No, I think I got it." And when I lifted it, the rebar came right out of the ground. Yeah. So I just jumped back on it.
Yeah.
And that was the coolest thing ever. We're now in the dark. Hey, all right.
We're back.
We were literally just sitting here and everything went out.
Yeah.
And it's going to get warm in here because that air went off.
It did. Yeah.
But yeah, so other than that, there was a couple people that had said the Yeti that was up by the old zipline tower.
Yeah.
So if anybody that's listening happened to be at the shoot, 4 or 5 people had mentioned that target was aimed towards where you exited the lift.
Right.
Which kind of it was. The problem being is I don't think a piece or an arrow is going through a gigantic I-beam unless somebody shot it out of a rocket launcher.
Yeah.
So that's why we didn't move it. If, again, if you were there and happened to see the target, know exactly what target I'm talking about, was it facing the direction of the lift? Yes. But we had not only the I-beam behind it, the hill that sits the lift up in the air was also behind it. Yeah. So you weren't gonna hit anybody getting off the lift.
No, I didn't see that as a red flag.
No. What was your favorite shot?
My favorite shot, I'm gonna say, I wish I actually shot something. I didn't even shoot my bow for 3 days, but I guess my favorite shot would probably be, I gotta say Bigfoot.
Bigfoot was cool.
Yeah. That spot is just awesome. Yeah. Because last year my favorite shot was a grizzly. Mm-hmm. So that cliff, rock cliff is just sick. It's awesome. So I think no matter what you put on there, it's going to be a great shot. This year we shot up to it as opposed to down to it. Well, last year wasn't kind of down to it. It was kind of almost on our level, kind of deal. But yeah, this year,
because the grizzly was at 87,
awesome.
if I remember correctly,
something like that.
77 or 87. I know there was a 7 in it.
Yeah.
This year the Bigfoot was 95. Yeah. Uphill.
Yep.
So you add a couple.
But the most challenging part of that, the shot is a crazy shot to begin with. Getting to it. So now you just hoofed up
smoked yourself.
Yeah, you just hoofed yourself up that mountain.
Yep.
And you finally just, you're sucking air. You're finally catching your breath. And now you have to draw and hold.
Yeah.
How many yards was it?
95.
There you go. At 95 yards. So that was really challenging.
But as long as your windage was good, technically, I mean, whether you had a pin or not, I mean, Bigfoot's pretty tall.
Yeah.
You just couldn't be left or right. If you were left or right, you were in trouble.
Yes. Yeah.
But I only heard a couple people complain about the walk up that hill.
Yes.
Which it did suck, because when we walked up it to set it, map it, I was like, holy crap.
Yeah. We did it a couple times. Well, at least I did it a few times.
Yes.
So these guys did it once.
Right.
But I get it. But listen, it's
part of the game.
I've said it before. That's you chose the expert course. Mm-hmm. You're telling me you're an expert.
Right.
So if you're an expert, this is what you are going to encounter. It's not just about the shot, the shot. It's not about being an expert shot. Mm-hmm. You've got to be an expert mountain man, right?
Right.
So you got to be an expert woodsman. You have to, maybe find a target that's a lot of guys can't find.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're an expert,
Yep.
then you're expected to find those targets that guys can't find, and
Right.
traverse that hillside that a lot of people won't do.
Mm-hmm.
That's the expert course. So we got a lot of positive feedback.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot more positive than the handful of guys that struggled with it. So
right. And I did tell you what happened last week, didn't I?
What's that?
On Facebook?
I don't believe so.
So remember the gentleman that I had to go meet on the expert course last year because he got lost?
Yes. Yeah.
So a couple folks that were at our shoot happened to be in another group page, and we're talking how great it was and can't wait for next year.
Yeah.
And he resurfaced.
Ah, okay.
So a couple of the people, I knew who they were that were talking about it, and they both said to him, hey, last year was their first year. Like, it's expected to have some issues.
Right.
So I, politely as I could, said, I remember you very well. I could tell you your face in a lineup. And I said, when I talked to you, you sang a different tune. So now you're here again talking, behind the monitor.
Yeah.
And I told him to send me an invite when he sets up his first shoot, and we'll come down and critique it.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah. And you know what? I'm glad that there were guys that were a little twisted, because if they weren't, then I feel that we didn't do our job and push the envelope. So if everyone, it was great, it was nice and easy. Nah, I don't want to hear that. I want to say, Jesus, what you got? You're killing me. That's what I want to hear.
Right.
So, and that's what we got. So it makes it feel like, you did the right thing. You did the right job.
We definitely had a bigger arrow pile this year.
Yes. Yeah.
I kind of saw that one coming though.
Yeah. It was a bigger pile, and I didn't pick up one.
Right.
I was just so focused on getting that mountain clean with the targets, because there were a lot of guys, we sold a lot of targets.
Yes.
So there
was a lot of guys waiting.
They were waiting down in the parking lot. So I'm trying to race up and down, and, not just me, all the guys were trying to get in and out with these targets to get these guys out of there. So I really wasn't focused on picking up arrows. But if I were, we would have had really.
Well, and I think a ton. They policed their arrows very well this year.
Yeah.
But we found arrows when we went up to map the course this year.
Yes, from
last year. So.
Yeah, we did.
But no, the pile was definitely bigger.
Yeah.
What else do we have? We had a first this year.
What's that?
We had to pick up 7 guys on the course because they're in the middle of the woods and no one saw them.
And there's one spot. There's one spot on that course that where you could be and no one can see you. And I saw you. I was coming up from the bottom. You were coming from the top, and you said to me, I drove up to where the bomb shot is.
Right.
I drove up to that. Nobody was there.
Right.
Well, if you look to your right and went over that knoll, just right, they were right there.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the one spot, perfect timing, where they just kind of got hidden, and the lift got shut down.
Right.
And we had to get them off the mountain. So
so it was good, and it was a group of guys that we knew.
Yes.
They were here last year.
Yeah.
So they were joking about it, and actually a couple of those, guys were even in that group chat that I was just talking about, and thanks for picking us up, and we've had just as a good time riding in the side by side as we did shooting.
Yeah.
But so the bomb, that was the only target that I shot. I had my bow ready to go.
Yeah, I was there for that. Yeah.
And we had the folks from Mamba. They brought up a set of their Nando arrows, and they're 6 grains per inch at 350 spine.
Yeah.
So I dialed in a couple of them and shot the first shot at 60 yards on the practice range with those.
Yeah.
And I was 1.5 feet high, so I figured, well, okay, this is good. At 110 with my pin was, I should be able to just hold slightly high. And the reason we were doing it is because I was filming something for Mamba.
Yeah.
But I did miss the target.
Yes.
We cut the video. You didn't hear the in the grass and the rocks.
So it's a torture test as well.
Yeah. It did come back. It was only missing the front end.
Yes.
The guys that were there already waited for me to shoot. And I said, hey,
Yeah, they grabbed it for you. Yeah.
We'll see. I played that really smart because I didn't want to walk back up the stupid hill. I was like, guys, if you could, just grab that one and just bring it back when you come out.
And they did.
They did. So appreciate that one.
Yeah. So I think, like we were talking about, upgrades. I think the biggest upgrade, was Vendor Village.
Yeah.
The location was awesome.
Yeah.
And, we had twice as many vendors as last year, and it didn't seem like it.
Right,
because everything was so spread out. You weren't on top of each other. So, that spot could handle hundreds of people at one time.
Oh, yeah.
So, and it never felt crowded.
Nope.
So that to me, I think was the...
And I think that was a good thing and a bad thing because a couple of the vendors asked, like, what's the count for today?
Yeah.
And if there was people in Vendor Village... Even if there was a lot of people in Vendor Village, you couldn't tell because of the way the vendors were set up.
Yeah.
So
it was tough. A lot of the guys, they felt like it was a little slow.
Right.
But the numbers don't lie. There were more people there, and it was just so spread out and so well laid out that, you weren't crawling on top of people. So
no,
I thought it was great.
And I thought the novelty shots, for sure would have been busier.
Yeah.
Not that they weren't busy. Because it was weird. Friday, a couple guys tried. Saturday, a couple guys tried. Sunday, there was like a line at the novelty shots.
Yeah.
So we had the big old arrow disintegrator, the 4x4 target that the steel artisan made.
Yep.
That thing collected some arrows.
It did. Yeah, it did.
When we got that back to the shop, there were still 3 tips in it.
Yes.
With inserts.
That's right.
And it was the same guy.
Was it?
They were all the same.
Okay.
So... whoever you were, if your tips were still stuck in our metal target, congrats. There was a really good group, but they were all low.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so the elk hunt. So High Desert Ranch, Randy and Cheyenne, they fly in from Craig, Colorado. They flew into Philly. They drove up the turnpike. They had their son Bo, who was 5?
Something like that, yeah.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
River, the baby, who was like
just an infant.
Yeah, like weeks to months old.
Yeah.
And they shipped in their backdrops to us and came up, and we had kind of already set the target because we were waiting for them, but I didn't want to wait anymore to try to get, everything rolling.
Yeah.
It was like 76 yards or something.
Something like that, yeah.
And they were good with it. And basically the way it worked was you paid them the money, you stuck an arrow in the 12 ring, you got your name
in the hat.
Yep. So we had a lot of guys shooting it.
Yeah, there were quite a few.
Dakota, who was a truck finalist last year.
Yep.
I think he had like 5 or 6 times.
No, I think he had 2. 2? He had 2 in the hat. There was that other guy.
Oh, okay.
Frank something. I forget his last name. He had, I think, 5 in there.
Okay, yeah. I knew there was 1. I thought it was Dakota.
No, Dakota only had 2.
But so Dakota didn't shoot for the truck this year because he knew he couldn't be there Sunday because he had a wedding to go to.
Yep.
So Glenn, who's one of our volunteers, his kids shoot at the shop for me.
Yep.
And he says, man, I'd love to go on a hunt. And I said, well, go pay them the money and go try it.
Shoot.
So he shot Friday? Yeah, because he wasn't there Saturday.
Right. He shot Friday and
did it. He got his name in once.
And then he shot again on
Sunday. He shot 2 more times.
Yes, because he wasn't confident because other guys had multiples in there. So yeah, he shot and he did not.
No, he didn't make it Sunday both times. So we do the truck finalist shoot. All the guys shot low. They all shot it for like 112 yards. All 3 of them I knew.
Yeah.
Well, we know.
Yep.
And I don't know if they just didn't realize when we went left that we went backwards.
Yeah. Everybody was low.
Yeah.
Listen, it's tough.
It is tough.
That distance,
And Doug and I got in an argument on the walkie-talkies. So we were shooting at the buffalo.
Yeah.
And per insurance reasons, we have all these little guidelines we have to follow. So we have to put a sticker on the target and yada, yada, yada. So when we originally moved the target, there was a water bar. And I wanted the buffalo in the water bar so that way it would hide a lot of the buffalo.
Yeah.
And just show the sticker. And Doug is going, I can't see it.
Yeah.
I can't see it. Like, what do you mean you can't see it?
The problem with the guys that were shooting were like, I can't see that.
Right.
So they were kind of in my ear saying, I can't see it. I can't see it. So
And see, I don't know this, and Doug doesn't know what I can see. So we're literally yelling at each other through the walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
So now I know the guy shooting can hear me because it's coming through his microphone.
Right.
But regardless, we put the sticker up in the 14 ring, and they were all able to see it.
Yeah.
They all misjudged horribly.
Yes.
And they shot all low. One miss, one in the leg, and one hit the body, but it was like way down in the stomach.
Yeah. I think the closest one was like 11 inches, like 1 inch out.
Yeah, it was 1 inch left and 12 inches. Yeah,
something like that, 12 low.
But so then we get done with that, and Randy and Cheyenne want to pull the winner for the truck, or for the elk hunt.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, hold on, let me get my phone so we can go live, and da-da-da-da. So Randy's going live. I'm going live.
Yeah.
Cheyenne is putting all the names in a hat.
Yep.
And Bo, their son, is going to pick it.
Yeah.
This way, none of our guys are touching it. We have nothing to do with it.
Yep.
It's all their giveaway, and let it be.
Yeah.
So first, when Cheyenne brought the hat out, Bo couldn't even reach it. Bo was very short. He was catching frogs and cats all weekend.
Yes.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
But so finally she lowered it just a little bit above his head so that he can reach.
Right. Couldn't see, but he just kind of feel his way around.
Feel his way around. And the first time he squeezes his hand together, he has like 6 names in there. And I'm like, oh, please don't pull them all out.
Yeah.
So Cheyenne says, oh, no, just one. So I can see him moving his fingers.
Right. Sprinkling.
Yeah. Like, get it off my hand. Get it off my hand.
Yeah.
And sure enough, as he got the one left in his fingers, he started pulling it, but he only had it by one side.
Yeah.
And it came out, and I already knew who it was because it was open when it came out of the hat.
Right.
And here, old Glenn Biaggi, is going September. He just told me today, as a matter of fact. He's leaving. He arrives on the 25th, hunts till the 30th, and comes home on the 1st.
Awesome.
So
that was the absolute highlight of my week.
Absolutely.
I think I was probably more excited for Glenn than Glenn was, because it was the highlight of the whole week.
Yep.
Nobody's more deserving. He killed himself on that mountain all week with us.
Yep.
And, we had a conversation before the Sunday. I don't know if it was Friday. Maybe it was Friday. I think it was actually Friday when he took his first shots. He was talking about it. And he's, I've always wanted to go on an elk hunt out west. I just haven't able to, to afford it. Spend that kind of money. And, and I had just went the year before. And so he was talking to me about it. So, I really want to
kill 3 elk. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Don't do that, Glenn. Just kill one, please. So, he really wanted to go.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that it all worked out.
Yeah.
He's
super pumped.
I told him, I said, you're going to win. And after the final shots, we were walking back. I turned to his wife, Melissa, and I said, you better start looking for flights in September, because he is going to win.
Yep.
And then 20 minutes later, here we are.
That's it.
He's the winner. So just awesome.
And he's already
so happy for him.
He picked up a new bow already.
Yep.
We got that out. In fact, he was at my house today. He shot it out, and we got a tape for him, or at least somewhat of a tape. But yeah, so he's super ecstatic, and Randy and Cheyenne were awesome. They'll be here on the show with us here shortly.
Yeah.
So all the vendors, basically, we will have all of the vendors that want to be on throughout the summer and just talk about what they do. So the only one I don't know if we can make swing is the Game Commission.
Yeah.
I don't know if, I know the guys that were there.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to make us talk to some PR person.
So maybe it might not be those guys.
Yeah. So. Yeah. But yeah, so this year, 100% success.
Yeah.
Obviously the rain, we wished it would have held off, but it is what it is. None of us can predict Mother Nature.
Yeah.
But so we're, now looking into next year, and
the wheels are already turning, right? You build off of what we just did, and you start thinking already for next year. As I was cleaning up targets, I was like, oh, you know what? We could put a shot there. You could do a shot there, and we could tweak it a little bit this way. So yeah, the wheels are already turning for next year.
We just can't put any targets where Glenn could almost flip an ATV.
Well, yeah, he was a little nervous after that, but. I went up and down that mountain.
I don't want to say that I wish I could have seen it, but I kind of wish I was no.
Yeah, I had to winch him out. I had to pull cable out and winch him up. So, but No one had a better weekend than him, though. So.
Right.
And, speaking of that, just a thought.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, I know it's not an easy task,
Mm-hmm.
but how cool would it be if Rack and Rod filmed Glenn's hunt?
Yeah, that would be nice.
That'd be really cool.
Nice. Maybe I'll send a camera with them.
Yeah, that would be cool though.
No, and I know Randy. They do film a lot of their hunts, so hopefully he can get it done.
Yeah.
And he'll come home with a nice bull for his first bull, and then I'll be itching to get back out there. So
it's addictive. So once they get the hooks in you, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. But so before we go, we're got about another 15 or so to go. So again, stay tuned for new stuff. Archery Fest 2025.
Yeah.
As we work through some things and start trying to figure out dates. I did like the earlier, but I also don't want to have to possibly deal with the rain.
Yeah.
Because May kind of sucks here in Pennsylvania.
But I think other than the rain, I mean, the temperature was nice.
Oh, yeah. The temperature was gorgeous.
Perfect.
Yep. Sunday got a little warm at the end.
It did. But
it happened last year, too. Because of all the days it's going to get warm is when we have to be flying around and trying to get all the targets down. Yeah. But I literally have to remember to start a clock. Like when we know all the shooters are off the mountain on breakdown day, because I'm pretty sure we beat last year's cleanup time.
I think we did, yeah.
But I want to run a clock. I want to know how long it takes.
Well,
because it sucks to set up.
Yeah.
And I tell people that all the time, like, it seems like a great idea. Don't do it. But no, I mean, breakdown, like, it took us 4 days to set it up, and
it took us
an hour and a half to tear it down.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, it did help us that, the beginner and the intermediate were together.
Yeah.
So.
Big time.
That's one less course, basically, to clean up.
The only mishap we had there, we had the pile of deer when I went back to get the UTV. But somehow got left on the side of the hill.
Yes. Yeah, somebody pulled them and stacked
them, and no one took them.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah.
So going forward, again, you'll see and hear a lot about Archery Fest again for 2025. But we do have another event coming up.
Yes.
I don't want to say I'm more excited, but I'm a little more excited about this.
Well, it's a lot easier to pull off.
Kind of.
Yeah.
So we joined up with our friends over at Camp Freedom, and we are going to do an event July 27th and 28th called Does with Bows. And if you can't figure out what that means, it's a women-only event.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a little different. They're going to shoot. They're going to have 3D targets to shoot at. But Saturday will be more like educational type.
Classroom type stuff.
Instruction and still being able to shoot on Saturday. But, there's a lot of women who enjoy going out to hunt, but maybe didn't have somebody to teach them all of the stuff.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we want to fill in. We want to fill in those blanks.
Yeah.
And maybe you want to hunt, but never had anybody to show you how to hunt.
Yeah.
So that's what this is going to be all about. So ages 12 to whatever.
Yep.
We're going to have almost all female instructors.
Yeah.
So my wife, Maria, little Alex, Miss Alex from Joab.
Yep.
We have Sam Zahner coming in from Hunt Lift Eat, a good friend of ours from Hunt Lift Eat. There's 2 other ladies in the Hunt Lift Eat crowd. We're trying to see if they want to do a seminar or not. And then the guys will kind of be there for kind of bow work and
the grunt work.
And, somebody's on the practice range and, an arrow's flying kind of funky.
Yeah.
We'll check tunes and things of that nature. But we'll also be there for safety purposes on the tree stand and saddle setups.
Yeah.
So maybe you hunt, but you are a little nervous on how to have a tree stand or want to try saddle hunting, but don't know how it all works. So now you get to find out and do it all right there that weekend.
Yeah.
So it's $75 per person, and that's good for both days.
Okay.
We will have, so Sam, before I get too far ahead, Sam from Hunt Lift Eat, she's from out near State College, big time outdoorsman. I met her through Hunt Lift Eat. We're both team members, and she is going to do our field dressing and game care seminar. So I called my sister and I said, listen, I need a dummy deer. And she was like, what? I said, I need it to be like when you killed it and you want to gut it. I need it to be able to be gutted.
Yeah.
She's like, well, how am I going to do that? I'm like, oh, come up with something.
Velcro.
Velcro, something. So that's what she does. So she is making a laboratory deer.
Yeah.
So that these ladies can actually field dress it. Here's the catch. What's the biggest no-no when you're gutting a deer?
Don't hit the gut bag.
So we're going to put in a bag.
Okay.
It will be mixed with water.
Okay.
So that if something does come out, it's not all over everything. But we're going to make it stinky.
Yeah.
So if you happen to, by accident, oops.
Yep.
You're going to find out what it's going to be like really in the field.
Yeah.
So we have super looking forward to that. I'm sure Camp Freedom will have a bunch of the females from up there on hand for some other stuff.
Yeah.
And we're super excited to do this event with them.
Yeah. What's really cool about it is I know just from my own personal experience, when I'm trying to instruct my wife to do anything, it doesn't usually go well. And you know how it is. You're the same way with Maria. So when you're getting instructions from your husband, your boyfriend, whatever, it can be a little tense sometimes. Yeah. So if you can get instruction from somebody else,
especially a woman,
yes, that could be a huge help.
Yeah,
because I don't have a lot of patience to begin with, and I don't. It's a fault of mine. I'm not proud of it, but I don't have a lot of patience.
But I think that's with anything, because I mean, obviously,
significant other, right? So
you helped out teaching people in the shop. I teach people in the shop every week, and I don't have the same. What's the word I'm looking? I don't even know the word. But the patients are there, but I don't have the same body language. I'm not tense when it's somebody that is not, my wife or my kids.
Yes. So no doubt about it. So even if you have someone who's been showing you and talking to you and teaching you, if that doesn't go so well, give this a shot.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
It's definitely a better experience, probably.
Yeah. So if you go over to, and I will try to post this up on the HuntCast Podcast Instagram tomorrow or the Facebook page, there's a link that will take you right to Camp Freedom's website. That is where you'll register. And it'll be from like 8 to like 4 on Saturday, and then 8 to 1 on Sunday. And I have to double check with Matt and Jamie up at Camp Freedom, but I'm pretty sure you guys will be able to camp if you would like. And there is a hotel right in Carbondale, which is about 6 minutes down the road, called Hotel Anthracite, and you can get a room there. But obviously utilizing their facility, and for next year, I'm already thinking ahead. We may try to add some stuff to it, but because they have a big shooting range, like a gigantic shooting range.
Yeah.
So maybe get, some firearms, whether you're a rifle hunter, turkey hunter, want to shoot a shotgun, that type of thing. But so you'll get to do a variety of different things. There'll be, again, beginner level instruction, a little bit more advanced instruction if you've been shooting for a little bit, but maybe your form isn't 100% great. We'll check your equipment, show you how to, take care of little things that you can fix in the field that you don't need, crazy tools for. And then the cool part with the tree stand and the saddle and the blind, we're actually going to set targets up so that you guys can take shots, strong side, weak side, or if you're left-handed, the way your tree stand should be set up. And you will go through the ropes of, using a lifeline, hooking your tether in with the saddle. We're going to have you climb a couple of sticks, get on the platform, get your tether adjusted, get your bridge adjusted. And then the blind is the most kind of ordinary one to shoot out of, because depending on your height and the size of your bow, it could be a problem.
Yes. And shooting from a seated position.
Yeah.
It's, it's just
much more difficult to draw.
If you don't practice that, it could be difficult. So, yeah.
Make a lot of noise when you're trying to draw from seated position. You're not used to it. And that buck takes off real fast.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday, so the shoot portion, it won't just be a normal 3D shoot where you're shooting for, an 11 or a 10 or an 8 or a 5. We're going to go out and we're either going to paint our targets, or we're going to try to figure out something to put you on the vitals.
Yeah.
So that you're making an ethical shot, whether it's the lungs, the heart, depending on the position of the animal. And It's not going to be like goofy animals. This is going to, deer, turkey, bear.
Yeah.
Some small game stuff so that it's unnatural.
Yeah, there's no Yetis.
Yeah, no Yetis, no Bigfoots.
Yeah.
This is going to be a true, hey, I could see this in Pennsylvania type of thing.
Yeah.
The only one that you probably can't see is the grizzly bear, but he's the biggest bear I have. So.
Yeah.
And we'll help you set up your sight tapes and things of that nature as well. So,
and also, there might be some targets that are going to be set up where you don't want to shoot. So, you know what?
So Doug's giving away all the secrets.
It's a frontal shot. Don't take that shot.
Yeah.
Or, whatever it may be. We could set things up where, there's shooting, but there's also times you don't shoot.
Right.
And you need to know that.
Yep.
So,
and it's so funny you said that because Doug and I have not talked about that, but that was already in my mind. Was like, okay, you get to a stake and like, it's standing behind a tree and it's barely giving you any vitals.
Yeah, there's a headshot.
Right. So don't shoot that deer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're super excited. So young women, older women, middle-aged women, whatever women are, as long as you're 12 or older, get signed up. We'd love to have you. Want to see more women and young women getting into the sport. Currently, it is the fastest growing segment in the outdoor industry.
Yep.
So, we want to help you become a better outdoors woman.
Yeah.
With instruction from women, and we'll be there to help where needed.
Yeah, because it's a nice, relaxed, unintimidating situation.
Exactly. You're not going for trophies or anything like that. This is just to make you a better shot, a better hunter.
Yeah.
We're going to do some game call stuff and hunting techniques, scent things, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really just a general type outdoor hunting with archery scenario. So, but I'm waiting. I know Matt, he laughed at my flyer that I built the other day. Not to my face, but he asked me if I would be offended if his daughter made a new flyer. I said, absolutely not.
Not at all.
So I am an archer, not a flyer maker.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for that flyer to come out. You'll see that. Other than that, stay tuned for interviews. We're going to probably get on the phone a couple times this week to get some interviews set up.
Yeah, we'll get back to our regular routine now.
Yeah.
We've kind of been on hiatus and
it's been a little crazy.
Catching our breath. So we should be able to kind of get back into our weekly routine and get back to normal.
100%.
Yeah.
Other than that, we, like you said, stay tuned. We'll start posting who our interviewer will be and what they're about. Who do we start with? Who should we start with?
I don't know. But the other thing I do want to say is anyone that was at the shoot at Montage, give us some feedback.
Absolutely.
Shoot us an email and just let us know what you liked, what you didn't like. You want to curse at Greg again?
Yeah.
And
it's nothing new. Trust me.
Call him that one dude is really twisted.
Yeah.
Yeah. He got you. He pulled you to the side, I think.
Yeah.
But a good guy. I remember him from last year. So, but just the good, the bad, the ugly. So some feedback this way moving forward for next year, we can kind of tweak things again and just keep making it bigger and better. So feedback on that is definitely appreciated.
And the only other thing that we had that went wrong was Spartan Forge didn't work.
Yes.
And we reached out. Unfortunately, I didn't hear back from Ben or Jared.
That's kind of disappointing.
Yeah. I know we've been doing a lot with TAC, which is cool. I just wish I would have got an answer and be like, hey, sorry, this should work.
Yeah.
But we didn't. So, but other than that,
we were marked so well it didn't matter anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it would have been nice just to get
to have it.
Yes.
And give them a little bit of a press. But,
absolutely. Yeah.
But hey, it is what it is. I can't make them answer me back.
Nope.
But no, as Doug said, if you've, we're at the shoot and want to give us some stuff, HuntCast Podcast at gmail.com. You can hit us up on Facebook and Instagram, and we will get back to our regular YouTube videos as well.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's been just a nightmare, and we're finally
catching our breath a little
bit. Catching up, and I think I got all of the stuff that had to be done at the shop done this week. So I hope. But anyway, we'll be back next week.
Yep.
We appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I said, check us out on Facebook, Instagram. Want to hit us up? Want to hear something you want to talk about? Give us a shout over on Gmail, HuntCast Podcast at gmail.com. It will be Doug or I that answer that email for you. Until next Sunday, we'll talk to you later.
See you.